Welcome back everyone, I'm K Plays Games, this is EVE Online. As you can see from the cathedral surroundings, we're still in the Amarr space, continuing our long running series on faction and pirate cruisers for running highsec combat anomalies, and hopefully some escalated DED sites or expeditions we find in them. Today I'm going to trigger everybody because we are going to be using an Ashimmu for PVE. This is what the Ashimmu looks like. It's a fantastic looking ship. It's really nicely designed. I do like it. Ashimmu. And the bonuses for the Ashimmu are, per level of Minmatar cruiser skill level, you get 20% bonus to stasis web of fire range. So at level 5, that is a 100% or doubling of your web of fire range. I'm not planning to use webs, so that's going to trigger some people. And for every level of Amarr cruiser bonus, because this is a pirate ship and that means it needs 2 races worth of skills to fly, per Amarr cruiser skill level, you get 15% bonus to energy Nosferatu and energy neutralizer drain amount. So at level 5, it's like 75%. Now, again, we're not going to be using Nosferatus and neutralizers on this because we're doing PVE, so that's just a complete waste of time. So again, we're not going to be using the bonus. One bonus we are going to be using is this roll bonus of 100% bonus to medium energy turret damage. Double damage on all your turrets. Lovely. And the special roll bonus, Nosferatus fitted to the ship will drain the targeted ship's capacitor regardless of your own capacitor level. These things are evil in PvP. They will drain pretty much anything they meet of capacitor. Any kind of sub-capital ship, they'll just wipe out its capacitor and then pick you apart with their turrets. Good luck finding people who will be willing to engage you if you fly an Ashimmu. Anyone sees an Ashimmu, they'll just be like, nope, not fighting that, and they'll just leave. Fitting wise, there are 5 high power slots, 3 of which can be lasers, which leaves 2 empty ones. One of them for a probe launcher, one of them for, I don't know. 4 medium power slots, probably prop mod, cat battery, sensor booster tracking computer, and 4 low power slots, 3 of which are probably going to be heat sinks, armor repairer, reactive armor hardener, maybe capacitor, and 3 rig slots with, I believe, 350 calibration. Yes, this is a pirate ship. Pirates have 3 rig slots and 350 calibration. Navy faction have 3 rig slots and 400 calibration. So let's make this thing fit. It's got a massive power grid at 1625. So I think that's going to let us fit heavy beam laser 2. I'm going to go long range with this ship. Heavy beam, because we only need to fit 3 of them. Yeah, 3 of these and it's like it barely tickled the power. And we'll do a sister's probe launcher. Then we'll do the mid power slots. We'll do a large compact cat battery. Sensor booster. Tracking computer. And the propulsion module, which will probably do microwatt drive, because we're going to be fighting at long range. So when we need to swoop in and grab the loot, I want to be fast, so we'll do a restrained microwatt. Just turn it off. Leave it online, but off. Let's get some heat sinks on this thing. 3 heat sinks. Bim. Drones wise, we do have 50 megabits a second, but again, I'm not going to put medium drones on this. I'm just going to do lights. If you put out medium drones in highsec, all the little frigates and destroyers will try and kill them, and light ones are more accurate against these small targets anyway, and they're faster to come back in, faster to go out. Armor tank, reactive armor hardener, and a medium tech 2 armor repairer. Right, let's get some ammo on this thing. Multi-freak, 470 DPS. It's more than we had in the previous ship, which was the Oman Navy issue. But I think the capacitor could do with a little bit of help. So our final low slot will be a cap power relay. 3 minutes 27. Okay, how about an engineering rig? Cap control circuit 2. Okay, how about if we change the charges from multi-freak to gamma? 15 minutes 36. How about X-ray? X-ray is stable, still 405. believe the previous ship we had 407, so we know that we don't need any more than like 400 DPS. I mean, that's all you need for highsec work. You're pretty much just fighting frigates and destroyers and the occasional cruiser if you find the 4 out of 10 site. So I think X-ray is fine. Mouse over. The range is optimal range 27, fall off range 38. So we want to warp in at combat sites at 25 and then just plink away. Apart from hideaways, because hideaways sometimes drop you at 30 anyway. They come in two flavours, hideaways. One of them drops you at 15, the other one at 30. So if we drop in at 15, we'll just give 1 squirter microwatt drive to pull range. And the last 2 rig slots. How about we do tracking? Tracking rig sounds good. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we'll go to energy weapon rigs. Meta status adjuster 2. Oops. Can we get a tech 1 and a tech 2? Not quite. How about if we put the cap control down to tech 1? Engineering rig. Cap control tech 1. Not quite good enough. How about semiconductor memory cell? No. Okay. So we do need a tech 2 cap control, and then we'll do 2 tech 1 metastatus adjusters. Perfectly fills up the calibration, 350 out of 350. You've still got tons of power grid and CPU left, because this thing is designed to fit lots of neutralizers, which take up a lot of room. Like, probably 2 neutralizers. So, I think that's pretty much the fit. One other thing we could do, just for fun, is fit some Tech 2 Aurora, which is a very long range ammo. Still does a respectable 340 DPS, so when we mouse over it, see the optimal range is 64 kilometers and the fall off is 75. So if we do get that 4 of 10, that means you can just snipe things as soon as we get in the room. Problem we had in the Oman Navy issue is that we fitted pulse lasers, which were really good at clearing anomalies, not quite so good for the DED as well. It worked fine for the 3 out of 10 because the 3 out of 10 is a piece of piss, but the 4 out of 10 was kicking our ass. So just in case we do find the 4 out of 10 again, I'd quite like to have 3 Auroras. I mean, Auroras will burn out after a certain number of shots. Make sure we've got 3 X-ray on the ship as well. So yeah, I think that's how we're going to go. 400 DPS out to a respectable range of 27 to 38. It's fast, it can target lock things fast, it's got a tracking computer and 2 tracking rigs. The standard tank, it shouldn't need a much larger tank than that because it's fighting at longer range, and it can actually use its microwatt drive to keep that range, so it should be okay. Anyway, I'll go and buy this and we'll go and have some fun with it. Right, here is our lovely Ashimmu. The guns kind of ruin the sleek look because they all stick out a little too much. Especially this one, I hate how it's non-symmetrical. How this gun sticks out the front left, this one here's the bottom right. Kind of unbalances a bit. But yeah, Ashimmu look fantastic. Have we got any skins for this? We have no skins for the Ashimmu, not a huge surprise. That is probably the best one, the Aurora Universalis. Look at it, it looks fantastic. Blood Raider Victory, Deathglow Remnant, a little bit Gary. Even Glacial Drift doesn't look terrible on this. There's Iron Blood, Lumine Polaris, that's also quite a nice one. That's horrible. Sanguinary Savant and Vampire's Hex. Vampire's Hex is always good with the Knight Rider lights. But we don't have any skins, so we'll be going like this. Right, I'm going to go and find a constellation for us to hunt in, and I'll see you when we're there. Let's go. Alright, we're in the first system of the first constellation, and we have a couple of hideaways, so let's have a look at them. We've got some signatures to do as well, but at the time of recording, this is during the Crimson Harvest event, so there's going to be lots of event sites, like these Class 1 biocernetic incidents, and probably most of the scan sites we're looking for are going to end up being event data sites, which is really annoying, but that's how it goes. Okay, this is a short range hideaway, but that's okay. We've probably got enough tracking to one-shot that guy with one laser. Lovely. I'm not gripping the weapons, A, because I want to see the individual hit quality, and B, because I might want to split fire, and I'm not hiding any passive modules because I like the viewers, that's you, to be able to see the full fit at a glance, and if I do overheat something, I want to see if I've burnt out any of my passive modules. Maybe a little bit close. Well, that didn't take long. On to the next one.
Warp drive active.
The commanders in these sites will be true Sansha, so they're easy to see. Everything else is Sente or Centum. These commanders will be true Sansha, so you see anything beginning with T, kill it instantly and loot its wreck. I believe the Sansha commanders in these little sites will drop implant blueprints, if my memory serves me well. I think we're close enough to just hit these guys from here. That would be a yes. I mean, it's not conventional, but it works. Huge long range on this thing. It's got all the power it needs to fire heavy heavy beam laser 2s. The scan site's being a pain in the tits. There's another hideaway just spawned in. I mean, this thing seems to be working just fine. Ooh, combat site. Active. Combat site at 69%, nice, at 2 AU. Could be a 3 of 10. Could be a 3 of 10. It's an acclimatization facility, which I believe is the 2 of 10? Yes, it's this Sansha's 2 of 10. That's annoying. We can't fit in there because it's Destroyer's maximum size. Let's hit these guys from here. I mean, we're literally just one-shotting everything. Double damage, innit? So me firing one laser at something at double damage is the same as firing 2 lasers from any other ship. I mean, this is just pretty chill. Sitting out here at long range. And my close range energy neutralizing ship. Not neutralizing anything? No. Not their energy anyway. And another hideaway's popped up.
Warp drive active.
This thing is absolutely fine. Again, the hideaway with this big radar dish drops you at around 30, which is fine because our fall off is 35, so pop, goodbye to you. And the other version of the hideaway drops you at about 12 to 15, but as we saw, we just give one little squirt of the micro warp drive to pull range, and you're absolutely golden. Beam lasers just look so cool, man. There we go, all done.
Warp drive active.
On to the next system, I guess. We'll keep on the hunt for commanders and more importantly, escalations. Can't guarantee we'll find another 4 of 10 because the 4 of 10 in Sansha space is only found through scanning and they're pretty rare. About as rare as the Serpentis 4 out of 10. Sansha half of Amarr and Galenti space operate in pretty much the same manner. 4 of 10s are only found through scanning, and they're both 2 rooms.
Warp drive active.
2 more scan sites, 2 more hideaways, and some Tetramon bases for the event, which we will not be doing, so ignore them in case we accidentally warp to them. Turn everything on because we know we're capped stable with everything but the micro warp drive on. And because I'm lazy, and this is another long range hideaway. What do you mean target lock failed? Shut up. If you want to play more fast and loose with your capacitor, feel free to drop the cap power relay and get something like a tracking enhancer, just to make yourself a little bit more accurate. It's an event site, an event data site.
Warp drive active.
You can probably do the 4AU method on this scan site. All scan sites spawn within 4AU of a planet, and this is the only planet that's anywhere near the scan site. So if we put our probes at 4AU and stick them directly over the planet, we should get this scan result in here somewhere as a red ping. It can save you some time. Let's see if I've done this correctly. Yep, red ping straight away, lovely. It's probably going to be another event data site. It's another long range hideaway, but that's not an issue. Because Tech 1 laser crystals never run out, you can just be blasé and just open fire at whatever range you want. It doesn't really matter. Yep, it's another event data site. It may be unconventional and eye-wateringly expensive, but it works. Hey, there we go. 3 out of 10 escalation.
Warp drive active.
The hideaways and refuges in Sansha space will give you this 3 out of 10 escalation. Let's see where it is. It's in nullsec, so no, we will not be doing that. Disappointing, but then that's RNG for you. If we had fitted a web to this thing, it would have a webbing range of 20 kilometers. Obviously, each web can only apply to one target at a time. So if I was to replace the targeting computer with a web, A, we'd have to be within 20k, and B, we'd have to apply it to each individual frigate, and that's just a waste of time for the stuff we're doing. I mean, I'm just annihilating frigates from 30 kilometers away with beam lasers, so a web doesn't make any sense. Tracking computer does make sense because that affects each individual turret.
Warp drive active.
Lots of sites in this dead end system, but most of them are absolute garbage. Burrows are a complete waste of time. They do not give you any escalation. They're annoying because the sites cover a distance of about 50 kilometers, and if you're in a short range ship you have to fly from group to group, and they take each wave spawns in at one end of the site and you've got to fly to the other end to kill them, and the only reward you get from it is a 5% chance of a commander, and it's just not worth your time, so no one runs burrows. This is the short range version that drops you at about between 12 and 15 kilometers from this bunker. But thanks to the tracking computer and 2 tracking rigs, we seem to be targeting just fine. And the fact that the enemy are yellow box, which means they have us target locked but are not firing, which must mean they're on direct approach to us, which means they're very easy to hit. Maybe we're a little bit closer, just give them a squirter warp drive. I've set my keep it range at 25k, we'll just pull a little bit of range, there we go, they're dead, that's that done, on to the next system.
Warp drive active.
It's another dead end system, but not very much in it. There are a lot of sites in it, but none of the type that we want. Crimson Gauntlet, some homefront operations, and a whole load of drone nonsense. Drone sites are never worth your time. Again, very much like burrows, none of them escalate. Well, I've heard that maybe the drone assembly can escalate, but it only escalates to the drone 3 out of 10, and the drone 3 out of 10 never drops anything worth the time it takes to run it. But they do have a 5% chance of a sentient commander drone to spawn, and that's the only reason you would run them. If you want to do that, then run them. I don't want to, so I'm not gonna.
Warp drive active.
Right, another system. And we found a refuge and a whole lot of drone stuff. Don't bother with the forlorn, forbidden and hidden hideaways. They don't escalate, but they do give you a chance for a commander. But I never bother running them. Warp to 0 at the refuge. I forgot to warp in at 25, but that's okay. We have a micro warp drive. Because refuges either drop you pretty much at 0 or at like 15, which is what we've dropped in at. But I'll just pull range. One that will squirt a micro warp. I'll scan these sites while we're here. The gun and missile turret are central to a widespread myth that either destroying them or not destroying them has an effect on the likelihood of a commander or an escalation happening. They don't. Don't listen to anyone who says they do. They just don't. I've run tens of thousands of these sites in my years of playing EVE. I've been playing EVE since 2008, which was a very long time ago now. And I actually went to all the trouble of spreadsheeting this stuff, and I ran thousands of sites, both ignoring the gun turrets, there's a commander, and killing the turrets. And the spreadsheets revealed that it was a 5% chance of getting an escalation or a commander, no matter whether or not you killed the turrets. So, myth busted. We did get a commander here, so let's have a look at this. Goddamn event site. And the commander dropped. Just absolute garbage. 50,000 worth. Very disappointing. That's probably another event data site.
Warp drive active.
We have a combat site in scan, and I'm the only one in system, and it is a fishing mini-game site. How annoying. Right, we're on to a different constellation now. As you can see, I actually went back to a trade hub, and I spent a decent amount of money on buying a skin. Maybe that'll improve our RNG chances of getting escalation. This Aurora Universalis skin looks super nice. Sweet back wings really suit the Ashimmu's hull. So let's see if retail therapy actually improves things. There's a refuge.
Warp drive active.
When you get two dots connected by a line like this, the result you want is always the one that's furthest away from your probes. Again, I forgot to warp in at 25, so we'll just select something and select keep it range, give ourselves a little burst of micro warp just to pull some range away. There we go. We have the ping now because it's always the one that's furthest away from you. So keep that in mind. Let's come to a halt now, we're far enough away. It's a combat site. It's a chemical yard, which is the largest and most difficult of the 3 drone unrated sites you will find in high security space. So we'll be doing that after this refuge. This skin is really nice, man. We are being tracking disrupted, but it's not a huge issue. We do have a tracking computer and 2 tracking rigs. Range isn't an issue. If we need to, we can swap over to Aurora and hit them from pretty much any range. Right, chemical yard.
Warp drive active.
You get no pop-up because it is an unrated site. There is a guaranteed sentient spawn in this site. That's the only reason I'm doing it. You can sometimes trigger an expedition from this site. Escalations are single DED sites. Expeditions are a chain of sites starting with one site. Then there's a chance for a sentient spawn. In fact, I think the drone expeditions have guaranteed sentience, but there's only a chance for it to lead on to the second site,
active.
and then only a chance for the second to lead to the third, and so on until you get to the 4th site, and the 4th site has enhanced rewards. Not that I think the drone expeditions are worth it running, if I remember rightly. The rewards are pretty terrible. I think one of them has just some random Tech 2 salvage, just absolute garbage. There are some strain drones who are warp jamming web drones, so we'll just wake them up and then kill these cruisers. And this one, I believe when we kill these cruisers, more strain are going to appear pretty close at about 20k. There they are, pretty much dead on 20k. Get the drones to help us with this one. He's a little bit too close. They're very small, very fast targets, these strain drones. I'll just keep them at range. Just to line myself up, and then I'll line myself up with the other 2 that are further away. Strange can and will switch aggro to light drones, so do keep an eye on your drones. There you go, drones have got him. Bring the drones back now. Right, let's go for the gate. I'll pick off these normal frigates with my guns on the way in. And there's another strain over here. Again, because laser crystals never run out, you can open fire from whatever range you want and just leave them running. Might want to preserve some cap by waiting until you're a bit closer, but I don't really care. Right, drones, start working on the strain. I'll kill all the normal ones. That's one. The drones pretty much one-shotted the strain. I'm not sure how, but they did. Bring the drones back. Keep this guy at range. Turn the micro-warp drive on. I did right-click the micro-warp and set it to auto-repeat off. So each time I click it, it just does one cycle and then turns back off. Again, it's because I'm a very lazy person. I can't be bothered to micromanage things. We go into room 2.
Active.
And another Sansha refuge has spawned into this system. Just one other person in here with us. The sentient commander in this site, in this room, does not spawn in immediately. What you need to do, this lot of drones here, these drone harvesters, you kill them and then the sentient spawns in where they are. And there's a couple more strains which will warp jam in webs, so just be careful of those. And there's a decent amount of DPS in this room if you let the battle cruiser get on top of you. Pew pew, there's the sentient. Let's just approach him. Double click somewhere in his vicinity. grab his wreck and then leave. There is no point in fighting anything else. Nothing else drops any loot. Let's see what RNG has provided. RNG has given us some drone parts.
Warp drive active.
Absolute waste of time. And no expedition either. You get the expedition when you kill the sentient. Or not. And in our case it was the not version. There we go. As soon as we leave, the site despawns. It's been complete. We got nothing from it. Oh dear.
Warp drive active.
Dens come in two flavours. One of them has a lot of light missiles when you warp in, and that will spawn frigates and destroyers, and the other version has heavy missile batteries, and that will spawn destroyers and cruisers. If you get a commander in a den, it will always be a cruiser, even in the light missile version. This is a light missile version. Okay then. And we look like we're at quite a decent range. Now dens are somewhere where you cannot ignore the missiles, because the missile turret's destruction is what calls in some of the reinforcement waves, so you are going to have to tackle them at some point during this site. Game being tracking disrupted, but it doesn't seem to be affecting us all that much. Enemy tracking disruptors do stack and penalise each other, so after you've had the first 3 or 4 applied to you, that's as bad as things are going to get, because they're just going to be adding like a tiny percentage more nerf to you, so it really doesn't matter. It's really not a huge issue. Let's just wipe out this battery while we're target locking the frigates. Now dens will only spawn in highsec in 0.6 or 0.5 systems, so they're relatively rare. There are quite a lot of 0.5 and 0.6 systems in highsec. But hideaways and refuges will spawn even in 1.0. Again, all the ships are dead. We're just killing the batteries because that will, as we see, spawn reinforcement waves of its own. So to complete the site, you do actually need to kill the batteries. Everything's at a really nice range, and we were optimal 25, fall off 35. They're just about right in that, and there we go. There's a 5 out of 10. Jesus, man! Wow. And it's in high sec, and we can get there. Well, it looks like you guys are going to get another special 5 out of 10 video.
Warp drive active.
Wow. I'm putting that down to the new skin on the ship. That was because I bought that skin. I mean, that'll easily pay for itself, because 5 out of 10s have a guaranteed payout minimum of 60 million ISK. They always drop a 19th tier Overseer's Personal Fit worth 43.2, and you usually get around 17 million in bounty as well. So that's nice. Mr. Moonin gets to undock once again. There's a true Sansha commander. Let's get him. Right, let's get his wreck. Sansha lookout. Okay. Hey, true Sansha small armour repairer worth 11.9 million. Da-da! Love it.
Warp drive active.
Let's do the Desolate Site.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
See if we can't quickly scan it. God damn, right in the middle of the system, so I can't really do the 4AU thing, because every scan site will be within 4AU of a planet, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets within this range. So sometimes if it's a spread out system, like if it had been over here, you can potentially start your scan at 4 AU. But we did not get to do that this time. Let's approach this lot over here, put the drones out, they can go and play with whatever. That destroyer there. The sentient spawns where this further away group are. So I'm just slowly approaching this group. It's an event data site because of course it is. Blap. Dead. Gone. Go away. Here comes second wave. Drones are doing drone things. And the only reason I'm doing this because I know there is a guaranteed sentient, and sentient drones can drop very expensive modules very, very rarely. But they do drop them. If you get a sentient damage control out of this, it will make it all worthwhile. As I said, very rare. There's a sentient. Just approach him, and there's the Mare Sargassum. That is the expedition. Might do that. Where is his wreck? Luckily, being drones, only the sentient will drop anything at all, so it's easy to identify the wreck. Just blow up as many other ships as I can just for some bounty. I mean, I'm not burning any ammo, because Tech 1 laser crystals last forever. Just bring the drones back. They're about to leave this site. Drone capillary fluid, absolute jobbies.
Warp drive active.
They do still drop the drone Nexus chips, which you use at Sisters of Eve loyalty point stores to buy blueprints for Astro Nestor and Stratios. Okay, Sansha Lookout is 2 rooms.
Warp drive active.
First room, just murder everything to unlock the gate and get into the second room. Everything's at nice long range, lovely, lovely. Again, a lot of the Sansha sites are quite similar to the Serpentis sites. Now we were at a really good range to hit those guys. Let's just approach the gate. Give ourselves 1 squirt of micro-warp. Why is this piece of scenery being put in a direct line between the warp end point and the gate? Oh, for goodness sake, CCP. Fix your game. What's all this nonsense? You do not have to kill the tower. As soon as everything's dead, you can just warp out.
Warp drive active.
Unless we hit this giant piece of scenery. God knows how big the hitbox is. Hey, we made it. Okay. Second room and final room. Hey! The Sansha control tower has been correctly marked as a dead space overseer structure. That's what you need to blow up to generate the expedition chance and or the Centum Ravager. Everything else you can just ignore. Nothing else matters. As a famous band once sang. All you need to do is to get your ass over here and blow up that building and that cruiser. I could have fitted Aurora and sniped him, but I want to be close enough because when you kill this cruiser, it brings in a reinforcement wave, and the reinforcement wave has a chance to have a commander in it, and if it does, I'd like to be close enough to loot the wreck. But nothing else in the site just matters at all. No escalation from that. You get another chance at an escalation by killing this dude in the reinforcement wave. Again, it's just a chance. Well, that was absolute jobby. Let's just kill everything. Well, the site's despawned, so it's been complete. So what happened to the reinforcement spawn? Did it just not spawn in at all? It is slightly different to the Serpentis version and the Blood Raider version. So I will just murderize everything because everything's on approach, just to see if there's another trigger. But I do believe it's just that cruiser and that building that are the triggers for this site, and it certainly does appear to have been the case. I'm certainly not going to start shooting at random buildings. Ain't got time for that jazz. Nope, that's it, let's go.
Warp drive active.
Another bust. Next system over, we have a combat site on scan, which is another lookout. Okay, we'll do another lookout, I don't care, that's fine. Let's go.
Warp drive active.
And we'll just annihilate everything from where we are, and then move towards the gate. And similar to this Sansha, the Serpentis version, there are some low-sec ores here. There are hemorphite and jaspit. Veldspar here. I believe it's umber in the Serpentis version. Well, that's very nice. Jaspit and hemorphite can be worth a decent amount of money. So if you find a Sansha lookout, just bookmark it and come back in a mining ship and mine all that crap if you want it. Could you just hit that frigate please, Mr. Ship? God almighty. Come on. It's only a frigate and you've got a tracking computer and 2 tracking rigs. God, why did that take so long to kill? Everything else is just gone. It wasn't even moving, it was a stationary target. Ugh. RNG of hit chance, I guess. There you go, they're 2 dead, let's go. And this time I think I will reload to Aurora just to show you. Optimal range 59, fall off range is 69. Nice. Because we spawn in about 80 away. So just double click towards them. I'm going to right click and set auto repeat on just for this site. Can probably, no, okay, target lock range is 69, which is also nice, but it matches the range of the guns, so we know as soon as we can target lock we can open fire, which is nice. Doesn't do a great deal of damage, but you know, it's gone. And we'll just blow this guy up as well. And again, no boss wave and no expedition. Very annoying. Now do be careful when you're using volatile crystals like Tech 2 and Faction, because they will burn out, and if your turrets are grouped and one of the crystals in the group runs out, then the rest of the group will stop firing, and then you cannot reload the whole group. You'll have to clear the group like that and then manually reload each one and then regroup it. It's just a real pain. Or you can just unload the whole lot to cargo and then reload. Yeah, grouped lasers and volatile crystals are a bit janky. Just more drone parts. Absolute
Drive
trash.
active.
About halfway through the list of refugees. I'm still the only person in the system, and we just killed a commander. So let's have a look what this douche has dropped. Just absolute garbage. Yay, in the very next site we've gotten a 3 out of 10. Which is...
Drive active.
in a high-sec system we can get to. Outstanding. Loving that. And the very next site is also giving us a 3 out of 10. Which is in low sec, so no thank you. Finally cleared the last of these sites on this system. Again, never saw anyone else. We've been left in peace to do whatever we want. Because A, Amarr space is mostly empty because it's so huge. And B, there's an event on, so everyone else is doing event sites.
Warp drive active.
Right, nothing from the anomalies, so let's do the Desolate Site and then the Chemical Yard, and then we'll go and do the 3 of 10, and then Mare Sargassum. God, this video is going to be about 3 weeks long. And the Desolate Site gave us absolute balls. Right, let's see what the Chemical Yard gave us. Absolute dog shit once again. Right, well, I'll see you in a few jumps time when we're about to start our 3 out of 10. Okay, we're here at the first 3 of 10, well, the only 3 of 10. So, let's get in here. We know what this is like from previous videos. It's 2 rooms full of destroyers and a couple of gun turrets, but mostly destroyers. There's 2 frigates we need to take note of. It's the boss of each room. Each one will drop one of the Overseer's personal effects. The one in the first room also drops a gate key, which does absolutely nothing. Because of the way they've changed the site over the years, the first gate only opens when you've killed everything, so even if you have the key, which is not consumed when you take the gate, you cannot bypass the first room without killing everything anyway, which renders that item 100% useless. But the developers are too unaware or too lazy to delete it. There's the Black Ops squad leader. I'll just approach him. He's the boss. He's the one that's going to drop the goodies. He's got really high shield resist, but that's the wrong thing. He's got really high shield. There we go. Really high shield, not much armour resistances, so we'll just blaze him down. There he goes. We'll investigate his wreck, and we'll just blow everything else up as we go. Being destroyers, they're larger and slower and easier to hit than frigates, and they're taking a great deal of damage from our beam lasers, which is nice. This site is extremely easy if you've got medium to long range weapons. You'll just murder everything really quickly. In the second room, you do not have to do anything other than kill the boss, grab his wreck and then leave, and that's what we will be doing. I'm not dicking around with a full clear. Not in a site like this, there's just no point. I'm missing a lot because I am a beam laser fit and I'm right up close with everything now, so I think I'll put the drones out. The drones can help. And go fifth tier Overseer's personal effects and the key which does nothing. Grab that box, murderize whatever's left in the room, just keep them at range to line ourselves up. Here we go, drones are doing drone things, everybody's happy. No point picking up the key that's in that wreck, because as I said, it doesn't do anything. Bring the drones back. Laserize this guy and then get through the gate. I said laserize this guy. And get through the gate.
Warp drive active.
Again, we'll just be charging the boss, we'll grab his wreck. Maybe in this room I should have just sniped everything from range and picked up the boss's wreck on the way through the gate. This room, definitely just snipe the boss then leave. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Black Ops Commander. Just approach. Let's go back to X-ray. I was going to try and snipe it with Aurora, but there's just no point. Not when we're approaching at this kind of speed. There he goes, he's dead. So I'm just going to grab his wreck and then leave. Just blow up a few destroyers on the way past. I think his wreck might be in a bit of a tricky spot. Yeah, it's not very nice. And he's dropped nothing but the Overseer's effects. Hurrah!
Warp drive active.
Oh, the loot fairy has been cruel. Low armor warning, but we don't care because we're in warp and we're gone. Well, that was terrible. Right, looks like we're doing Mare Sargassum then. I'll meet you in 9 jumps time when we do the first of hopefully 4 sites. Right, we're here. Let's do Mare Sargassum.
Warp drive active.
Again, this is out of date. You do not attack the trash construction. That's been changed. All you do is just warp in and kill the sentient. The sentient should have already been spawned. And that will be the trigger for the second site, if it happens. As I said, it's only chance based. I believe it's 50-50. Could be less than that. What we're looking for is the sentient Barracuda algae. That's the guy we need to kill. Again, there's 3 strains here which will warp, jam and web. Hopefully we'll kill this guy. Relatively quickly. Okay, we got a new location. This is a good thing. Let's go and... Here we are, we're jammed, warp jammed and webbed, so we'll just try and kill everything with a combination of guns and drones. Mostly drones. Yeah, it looks like we're going another 7 jumps over. That's fine. There's a reinforcement wave. Right, that's all the warp, jam and web killed. So let's bring the drones back, have a look what's in the commander wreck. Just drone parts again. Absolute garbage.
Warp drive active.
Right, I'll see you in 7 more jumps. Let's get out of here.
Warp drive active.
Okay, let's do another stage of Mare Sargassum, stage 2. Should get a sentient. I believe the drone expeditions have guaranteed sentience. There's our sentient. It's a destroyer this time. He's really close, might not hit. He's bounced off scenery, so it's going to make him even harder to hit, but we smashed him. And we have no clue where to hunt him, so this expedition is now over. Dang it. Well, we'll see what he dropped. Absolute horse shit once again. Right, let's get out of here. I'll meet you guys back at base and we'll review what happened. Right, we made it back safe and sound with our ill-gotten gains. Luck was and wasn't with us. We got an awful lot of sites run. We got 1 3 out of 10. It didn't drop anything. We didn't find any 4 out of 10s. We got lots of drone commanders, as you can see from the various amounts of worthless drone crap on us. In total, we only got 18.7 million ISK, so that wasn't great. But we did get a 5 out of 10 in highsec, which is nice, so watch out for the upcoming video on that. Was this an unconventional fit? Yes. Does it ignore almost all of the bonuses on the ship? Yes. Does it work? Yes. Should you do this? Hell no. But that was the Ashimmu. It works just fine. It shouldn't work because it's a PvP ship and all the bonuses are for PvP and webs and newts and all that jazz, but we made it work for PvE. It worked fine. As you've seen in this series, there are much better options, but it does look super sweet. So if you're caring about style, feel free to build a PVE Ashimmu. When we come back, we'll do something else in the Amarr space, I think. So look after yourself until then, and I'll see you again soon.